What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we've got another live fantasy football mock draft for you back on Yahoo with a 10-team half PPR mock where we will be selecting from the 9th overall position. Should be interesting as always. And while we wait for this thing to load, a quick reminder, if you guys enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. Let us hear it in the comment section, your thoughts, along with any other questions you guys might have. We'll do our best to answer them all. And lastly, make sure to check out the 2022 ADP Fantasy Football Draft Guide. It has everything you could want at a great value. Top 150 overall player rankings in standard and PPR formats, individual player bios, tiers, projections, along with general fantasy advice. All the details in the description. But with that being said, let's get into it. The first 3 picks have been made. They are as follows. Now make that 4. They are Jonathan Taylor, then Derrick Henry, then Cooper Kupp, then Najee Harris. Again, a reminder, this is half PPR scoring. So, the fact that an Austin Eckler, the fact that a Christian McCaffrey are still on the board, I don't quite agree with it. I also don't really agree that, actually, Christian McCaffrey is now officially higher on these rankings than he was previously. Previously, I believe now he's at the number 4 spot. I think he was somewhere like 6 or maybe even 7, which I thought was absolutely insane. Now that has been corrected. We're going to see, it's actually our turn to draft. I was going to say we're going to see how far he will drop, but no, he goes 7th, Justin Jefferson 8th. So now we've got a decision to make. Do we go wide receiver? Do we go running back? How do we feel about this? I think I might go wide receiver, running back to kick things off. Let's go with a guy in either Jamar Chase or Stephon Diggs. I'm going to go with Jamar Chase. I'll switch things up a little bit. I think that he's still a top 5 wide receiver. He's somebody that is, in that mix after the tier 1 guys of Jefferson and Cooper Kupp. He's in the mix with Diggs and Devontae Adams. So I don't mind taking him there. He's typically going towards the end of the first round, early second round. So nothing too crazy there. So now the question is, what do we do after this point in time? Do we go with a running back? Do we go with another wide receiver? Do we go with a tight end? I'm going to, again, maybe go a little bit of an alternate route because I know there's going to be people out there that do this, that start with a wide receiver, start with a tight end. So let's follow in your footsteps. Let's see what that looks like. And if we can go ahead and make a solid team out of it, something that we can compete with, and how we come back from the running back position, in particular being behind the 8 ball. And again, let's show you those draft results to kind of continue to break it down. I don't want to completely ignore what other people are doing here. So again, the first couple of picks in the first round: Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, then Justin Jefferson. We selected Jamar Chase. Then it was a combo of Joe Mixon, DeAndre Swift, followed by our selection of Travis Kelce, then a run on wide receivers: Diggs, Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb. I was going to say I'd expect the running back run to now catch up, and as soon as I say that, it's Aaron Jones, it's Leonard Fournette, it's Nick Chubb, guys that are still on the board. There's some really good names, folks. Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, potentially a David Montgomery. Unfortunately, out of all those names that we mentioned, I'd have to guess that almost none of them, or maybe only one, gets back to us. As much as I would love a Saquon Barkley in the 3rd round, I don't think it's happening here. I think Yahoo has him ranked a little bit more accurately. Alvin Kamara just went. Obviously, a name that could be an absolute steal or potentially a bust. What happens on that, pending suspension, a lot of it is going to be based off of that. Until we know more, it's kind of a tough situation to figure out. You're either going to get screwed drafting him in the 2nd round that early, or, in maybe the late 2nd round, or it's going to be a big brain move. Right now, I'm just rather deciding to be a little bit more conservative with the situation. Now, again, let's continue to look at this draft board After Aaron Jones, Leonard Fournette, and Nick Chubb, it was Javonte Williams and Alvin Kamara. So a huge run on running backs. 5 straight running backs. Then Josh Allen, a little bit early in my opinion. Debo, Mike Evans, Josh Jacobs. Whoa, what is that? Did not expect Josh Jacobs to go before Saquon Barkley. Probably one of the biggest surprises so far. Then you see Tyreek Hill, Mark Andrews. Again, this is one of those situations why I always stress this. I think taking a tight end early, and when I say early, like end of the first round, early second round, is a little bit of a misplay because I think it's a reach. And then look where Mark Andrews just went. He almost went a full 2 rounds later. So I'd rather not do that. I'm going to go running back here. I think it's an easy choice considering how our team is made up so far. We have Chase, we have Kelsey. We need to address the most important position. Ezekiel Elliott was the easy pick here. Happy we got him. Now, ideally, I'm going to get one of David Montgomery or Travis Etienne in the 4th round. Yes, I know guys like Keenan Allen are tremendous value, but we need to address the running back position. There goes Cam Akers, ranked way too high. Interesting, James Conner not getting a lot of love here on Yahoo, but I can understand why. Potential touchdown regression, maybe not as involved in the passing attack as you'd like to see. So all those issues exist. Now here at running back, what do we do? Do we go with a David Montgomery, who I mentioned before? Do we go with a Travis Etienne? Personally, I'm a bigger believer in Etienne because, I think James Robinson is going to be really not all that involved this season. I'm going with Etienne here. I really like his pass catching upside. I think he's basically an Austin Eckler light type of situation. Now, obviously, if, we get close to September, even though Robinson isn't expected to be put on the PUP list, which is almost incredible in it of itself. But if reports come out like, okay, he's going to split carries, he's going to be almost at 100% of what we've seen before, then we'll, kind of reconvene and re-examine these rankings. But, it was between him and David Montgomery. I like my selection of Etienne. I'm a believer. We need to go running back. Let's see what happened afterwards. You see T. Higgins, David Montgomery, good value there. James Conner going in the 4th round. I think it's one of the latest times I've seen him go. DJ Moore. Then maybe one of the biggest reaches I've seen, Rashad Penny. I don't know what the hell this team is doing, team 4, with these last couple of picks. Rashad Penny in the 4th round. Maybe we can chalk that up to an auto pick situation, but that's way too early. I don't have to tell that to you for you to realize it. Penny in the 4th round, when he could lose his job to Kenneth Walker potentially, is an all-time I don't understand move. It's our turn to draft. We'll go back and look at some of those picks, but I want to select our next player here. I feel like Yahoo actually knows what they're talking about with Allen Robinson. Kind of readjusted some of those rankings. I'm going with him. I want him on my squad, but it's going to be a quick turnaround. If Terry McLaurin is there for me, I might nab him. We've already got Kelsey. Let's see if there's anything we're missing at the running back position. A.J. Dillon, Damian Harris, Miles Sanders. I don't love any of these guys. I think there's much better value at wide receiver. I'm not going running back yet. I'm not going quarterback yet. It's a situation that I feel good about. So I'm going to go Terry McLaurin here. I'm high on him with Carson Wentz in town. I think, arguably the best quarterback he's played with. So having him as our flex, I feel very, very good about that. And, look, so far we've got Jamar Chase, Allen Robinson, McLaurin, Zeke, Etienne, Kelsey. So how would I feel if this was my squad after having gone Jamar Chase and Kelsey? The good thing about this being a 10-team league, it's a lot more forgiving if you go tight end early. So I guess one of these takeaways would be if you go tight end early, make sure to do it in a 10-team league because the depth is not going to be there at running back or really even wide receiver if you do so in a 12-team league or larger. So that's something I want to point out. I would like to get one more running back. It's going to be tough to get an impact guy at this point in time. I think the options are kind of, becoming slim. And I still think there's some really, really good value on these wide receivers. Marquise Brown still shouldn't be on the board. Yes, I know people are worried because, he was placed on the active NFI list. Basically, he's dealing with a hamstring injury. We'll see, though. They are, complicated, those injuries, so you never know. At this point in time, being in the 7th round, I'd be okay taking a quarterback, but the top guys are all off the board unless somehow Kyler Murray makes it to us. I'm going to take another wide receiver, load up on the talent there. Rashad Bateman still being available is a really good value. Darnell Mooney still being there, really good value. So I wouldn't mind any of those guys. Let's look at, some of these other names. Right now I'm hoping we can get Kyler Murray. I think that'd be a good way to do this. And, he gets sniped from us. So unfortunately, we miss out on Murray. But we can get Rashad Bateman, which I feel really good about that. Loading up on the bench talent. We can continue to get some really good wide receivers, guys that can break out, a la Darnell Mooney here. Again, as soon as I say that name, bam, he goes off the board. Running backs. Let's look at the running backs so we can kind of check back in on the situation and see where we stand at this point in time. I think right now, we're getting to the point in time where Miles Sanders not a bad value pick. Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon is somebody that I think can be a sneaky good play. So Miles Sanders just went. Man, this guy, it's like he's reading our brains here. Question is, do we think Melvin Gordon makes it back to us? I could see a situation where he doesn't. So maybe I just go with him now, get some depth there. If something happens, God forbid, to Javonte Williams, Gordon turns into an RB1. So we added that next running back. Obviously, there's a drop-off in production from Zeke, ETN, and then going to Gordon, but it is what it is. Again, it's going to happen when you go with your first 2 picks pass catchers, but it could be worse. It could definitely be worse. Let's, again, look at some of these draft results. We've officially gotten into the territory of defenses. Kind of just pointing out some craziness that happened after I went on my segue of Rashad Penny in the 4th round. We also saw Breece Hall, A.J. Brown, Antonio Gibson, Elijah Mitchell, Patrick Mahomes, Deontay Johnson. Cordero Patterson shouldn't be going that early either. Great value on Juju Smith-Schuster there in the 6th round, I would say. Kyle Pitts goes in the 5th round. George Kittle and Darren Waller and Dalton Schultz all go in the 6th round. In the 7th round, we see guys like Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman, who we drafted. Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray. Was really hoping Kyler could fall to us. He doesn't. Oh, well. It is what it is. I take advantage of that Marquise Brown slip up with the hamstring while you still can. I think from like a month and a half from now, I think he'll be okay. But, I guess we'll find out. Now we can go quarterback to kind of round out this team. But, I like the spot we're at. I think we've done a good job. Here, I will go with Matthew Stafford. I want to get that stack with him, with Allen Robinson. Other names, there's Trey Lance, there's Derek Carr, always, late round favorites of mine. Where else could we have gone? Looking at the running backs, Kareem Hunt's not a bad value pick here, something to think about. I might just jump on that right now. But other than that, we've kind of put the finishing almost touches. I'm not going to draft a kicker or defenses. We filled up our bench pretty well. So I like the team that we have. I think we were able to somewhat come back from going Chase and Kelsey early on, but it could definitely be better. I don't like our running back depth necessarily. I think there's a big drop-off from our starters to our bench guys. We got lucky in terms of our wide receiver depth. I will say that. So makes me feel a little bit better. But, hopefully you guys can take something away from this and how to kind of approach that situation if you go pass catchers early. Some best case scenarios. Let me hear in the comment section your thoughts along with any other questions you guys might have. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe. Make sure to check out the 2022 ADP Fantasy Football Draft Guide, now available for purchase. Those details in the description. And in the meantime, we'll see you guys in future videos.